Hi there, Tanya here. So, it's going to be Mother's Day this weekend, and for many, it is such a time of joy and celebration as we honour our mamas. Now, I know that there are many people out there who are struggling at this time, and that's why this video and interview is possibly something you'll want to listen to. Now, there are many people out there who are unable to be with their mothers. We're all separated at this time. Maybe it is that you've lost your mum recently or not so recently, and every time Mother's Day comes along, you grieve her. Now, I also know that there's many people out there who so wanted to be a mum, like me, and it just never happened. Now, I know for me that Mother's Day used to be a really tough time, and I just, didn't feel that great when Mother's Day came around because it always reminded me of what I really wanted and still couldn't have. So I know there are some of you out there who are feeling that loss, that grief, still yearning to be mums, and it hasn't quite happened yet. So for those of you who are out there and are struggling at the moment because it's Mother's Day, have a listen. Grief is a funny old thing. As I said to someone the other day, it's like a fingerprint. It's so different for all of us. Whether you're grieving your mum, you're grieving a mum that you haven't seen for a while, maybe you are grieving the baby that you want and your desire to be a mum. Maybe you are no longer a mum to your fur babies. That's also something that comes up for many. Just feel the pain. But you know what? We feel it, we give it a bit of time, but then we get back up again and we dance with life again. Grief is part of life, but so is joy. And it is possible to have both at the same time. I say it over and over again. So get up, enjoy your day, find something that is great and beautiful in your day. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on something that you do have. Okay? Anyway, have a listen to this interview with Andrew. I hope you enjoy it. And there are a few more other interviews in this whole library of my YouTube channel. There's a few here on infertility as well. There's plenty on loss. So have a look around. Have a super day and enjoy the interview. Bye for now.
It is so good to be joined in the Rema studio by Tanya Unkovich. Tanya, I know that Diane and I co-host the show, but I thought that there was a thing between you and Diane, and I thought, oh gosh, is it something I've said? Is it a deodorant fail? But no, it's just so nice that I'm the guy that gets to talk to you today.
Yeah, and it's so good to be here, and it's got nothing to do with your deodorant,
Isn't
I
it?
promise.
Yeah, I picked one up when I was on the road trip last week, and because I ran out when I was on the road, so I bought one from a petrol station. I'm not sure it's not my usual brand. That's
Might
all.
be made out of petrol, Andrew.
Well, it's probably a little bit. Anyway, we're slightly off topic. This weekend, of course, Mother's Day, and look, I know that this is a difficult time for some people. All of us had mothers. Whether or not we had a great relationship with them, that's another thing. But this is an important time to acknowledge people that are such an important aspect of who we are and our society generally, right?
Absolutely. And those words, who we are, we actually have our mothers in us. And as much as we sometimes go, oh, I hope I don't pick up that habit, sooner or later you're going to see it in yourself, aren't you? And it's about embracing those habits, embracing who we are, knowing that we're embracing our mothers.
And I was always, as a small boy, very keen not to disappoint my mother, and many years later, my mum's passed, but I still think, oh gosh, what would my mum think about that? And it is a little bit of she's like a Jiminy Cricket on my shoulder, encouraging me to be the best version of myself, and honestly, that's something that mums are pretty good at, eh?
Oh, absolutely. And here is my mother at the end stage of her life in a rest home, bedridden, still saying, this is what you should be doing, even at that age. So yes, bless them.
And a wonderful opportunity this Sunday to honour our mothers, and I think it's good that we have this day. But actually, why is it just one day? Why is it just one Sunday every year? And particularly, when we think last year, what a write-off Mother's Day was. We weren't able to visit and all those sorts of things. Let's make the most of the people that that we love and that love us, to honour them on every occasion.
Absolutely. And make it special because, like you say, last year we couldn't do it and you never quite know what the next week brings at the moment, right? So just enjoy and embrace every day. And yes, honour our mothers.
I mean, it's in the Bible. It's in the book, right?
I was just going to say those words.
It's in the 10 suggestions.
Yes.
Well, no, 10 commandments. I'll get that right. And the honour thy father and mother. See, I'm slipping into Old King James there. Honour thy father and mother. It's the commandment that comes with a bit of a promise that if you get this right, then your days will be long upon the earth. I mean, that's quite special, isn't it?
It is. And, you know, I had the gift as a teenager of speaking with some elderly Christian people, and they were amazing. And one of the things he said to me was, Tanya, do you honour your mother and father? Are you at peace with your mother and father? Now, this is me as about a 17-year-old with a few hang-ups. And we spoke on that topic, and it has stayed with me for the remainder of my life, because he said to me then, you know, if you are at peace with your mother and father, then the remainder of your life will be good.
Wow.
So wasn't I lucky to have that lesson at 17?
And having that blessing spoken over you, that's fantastic. I mean, as we mentioned beforehand, we acknowledge that Mother's Day is just a really tough time for some people, for people who wish that they were mothers but aren't, for people who are perhaps in a broken relationship either with their parents or with their children. It's a time that can also be, a bit of a tough time, really.
A lot of people do struggle on this day, and you know, some people too can't see their mothers because they are in another country.
Yeah.
So there are so many reasons this year where someone might be really feeling that loss. And, you know, this is where you can just embrace the memory, if that's the case, embrace the dream of seeing them again, and just do what we can. It is tough at the moment, everyone, but we're all in this together.
For people that would love to be mums but aren't, there's a difficulty in conceiving children. This is kind of like Valentine's Day for single people in some ways. This is a reminder of everything that you wish that you were and aren't able to be. Talk to the person that's in that situation that's just sort of thinking, oh gosh, please don't remind me again.
Well, I was in that position, and I struggled every Mother's Day at church when the priest would call all of the mothers up to receive their little gift, and I would leave the church in tears because it is such a reminder of what you haven't got, what you may not have. It is grief. Just acknowledge that you are grieving right now. Pray your way through it if you can, because in our grief, we can always find some joy. And I always remember that I used to go away and go, you know, Tanya, what else do you have in your life that's beautiful right now? Who else can you nurture right now? How else can you serve someone else right now? And just keep praying through it. It's a tough one.
Yeah, no, and hey, thank you for sharing that, and much other wisdom that you share. TanyaUnkovic.com, of course, for more information.
Yes.
Tanya, with all that this implies, a very happy Mother's Day to you and yours. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.